This tutorial demonstrates how to integrate Firebase into a React Native application, covering Firebase project creation, app registration, authentication setup, and Firestore configuration. Open a web browser and go to the Firebase console. If a Firebase account has not been created yet, sign up. Click on Create a Project, enter Test Project as the name, and proceed. Keep Google Analytics enabled and select the default Firebase account. Click Create Project and wait for Firebase to set up the project. Once the project is ready, click Continue to navigate to the Project Overview page. In the Project Overview page, click on the Android button to start adding Firebase to the React Native application. This opens the Add Firebase to your Android app page. In the Register App section, enter the Android package name. To find it, open the project and search for com.firebaselearning in main-application.kt. Copy and paste this package name into the Firebase registration form. To retrieve the debug signing certificate SHA-1 hash, you can use this command. Since this project was already registered in Firebase, the hash was previously configured. For this video, this step is skipped. This step is optional, but it is useful if Firebase authentication methods such as Google Sign-In are needed. After completing the Register App section, click Register App. In the next section, download and add config file. Download the provided Google Services.json file. Move this file to Android/app/src. After placing the file in the correct location, return to the Firebase setup page and click Next. This collapses the configuration file section and moves to the Add Firebase SDK step. In the Add Firebase SDK section, select the Groovy open parenthesis build.gradle close parenthesis option. Copy and paste the required dependencies into the respective build.gradle files, as shown in the Firebase setup guide. These dependencies are necessary to allow Firebase services to work correctly in the React Native project. Once all dependencies have been added, click Next. Then in the final Next Step section, click Continue to Console to complete the Android integration. Back in the Firebase project overview page, go to Project Settings and scroll down to your Apps section. Click Add App and select the Web option. This opens the Add Firebase to your web app page. In the Register App section, enter MyWeb as the app nickname and proceed. In the Add Firebase SDK section, copy the Firebase configuration code and paste it into a new file named firebaseconfig.js in the root directory of the project. After adding the Firebase SDK, click Continue to Console to complete the web app integration. To enable authentication, go to Authentication from the Build category in the Firebase sidebar. Click Get Started, then select email/password as the authentication method. In the next page, enable email/password and email link, then click Save. To enable Google Sign-In, click Add New Provider, select Google, enable it, provide a support email, and save the changes. To retrieve the web client ID, go to Google Provider Settings and copy the web client ID, open Firebase config.js and paste it there. Next, configure Firestore by selecting Firestore Database from the Build category in the Firebase sidebar. Click Get Started, select the default settings, and choose Test Mode to allow read and write access during development. Once the Firestore database is set up, Firebase is fully configured in the React Native application.